So all week, the usual suspects in the political establishment and the MSM, especially the BBC, ITV News and Sky News, have been trying to convince you that Rishi Sunak was the inevitable candidate to replace Boris Johnson as Conservative Party leader and thus becoming Prime Minister of this great country. As ever, they've been telling you a load of piffle cooked up in the Westminster bubble. But from the moment Boris was brutally deposed in that completely unnecessary coup, I've been telling you there's zero chance Tory party members, many of whom are horrified about the treatment of the Prime Minister, will elect the knife-wielding ex-Chancellor. Sure enough, proof today from a YouGov poll of Conservative Party members who, let's remember, exclusively decide who will be the next PM from a shortlist of 2 chosen by Tory MPs. The survey stunned many in Westminster and the media, but not me, by showing Sunak will be absolutely thrashed by Penny Mordaunt and Liz Truss, and solidly beaten too by Kemi Badenoch and even Tom Tugendhat. Former Defence Secretary Mordaunt took a storming lead in that poll, thrashing every opponent amongst Tory members. In fact, I a similar poll by Conservative Home earlier in the week. In fact, today, well, you could say it was almost a perfect day of campaigning for Penny, whose campaign launch for the PM campaign was described as the best ever by veteran Tory David Davis, who lost to David Cameron back in the runoff in 2005. Look.
So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the Right Honourable Penny Mordaunt MP, our next Prime Minister. We've got to stave off a recession. We've got to deliver on the huge ambitions the British people have, having left the European Union. The British people are fed up. They're fed up with us not delivering. They're fed up with unfulfilled promises. And they're fed up with divisive politics. So we need to do some serious machinery of government changes. We're going to have a tighter cabinet. We're going to have ministers of state that have clear and timely deliverables and are powerful and can reach across Whitehall. And we also need to let our citizens live well. From me, you're going to get a relentless focus on cost of living issues.
And that launch, of course, took place before she even knew the results of that poll. Tory grandees, they might tell you Sunak can win it, but he won't. So party members should be given a real choice between Penny and probably Truss, who is emerging as the favoured candidate on the right of the party, especially amongst Boris supporters. Although both Badenoch and Braverman remain in the race with significant support too, and we shouldn't forget that. But Truss is making her case as the candidate of the Brexiteers, even though she reluctantly voted Remain in 2016. In her first interview of the campaign with tomorrow's edition of The Spectator magazine, she's actually addressed this. So this is what Truss has said. If I could vote now, I would vote to leave the European Union. I was a reluctant Remainer. I was loyal to the Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron, but since the referendum, I've put my shoulder to the wheel in terms of delivering the opportunities of Brexit. Jacob Rees-Mogg, he took things up again today too, branding Sunak a socialist and revealing it was Truss who had tried to stop Sunak's high-tax agenda in Cabinet. In an explosive Daily Mail column, he wrote, while the economy was at its most fragile, she opposed his plan to raise corporation tax by around 30% next year, which will deter investment and economic growth when we need it most. Sunak has squandered the Conservative Party's decade-long efforts to build a competitive tax regime, and it will be the French and the Americans who will benefit instead of the British people. With the Sunak campaign's dirty tricks continuing at full force, the pressure really is now on Braverman and Badenoch to unite with Truss in a dream ticket for the right. As the Daily Telegraph's Christopher Hope revealed tonight, wow, I am picking up pressure tonight from ERG sources for Suella Braverman, Liz Truss and Kemi Badenoch to merge campaigns and blow Rishi Sunak and Penny Mordaunt out the water. Now, what I'm convinced of is that the best thing for the country and for the Conservative Party is for Sunak to drop out of this race. Fishy Rishi's not going to win this, and Tory members deserve a real choice.